Who's in just Kurzgesagt, and this is why aliens might already be on their way to us. But Kurzgesagt in a nutshell. Yeah, okay. See, this is the type of video I always look out for whenever I see Kurzgesagt pop up notification, right? So, okay, obviously, there is a high reason, right? Like if there was there is an intelligence, higher intelligence than us out there. Aliens, basically much higher intelligence than us that can interstellar travel or whatever, they probably be on their way, because if there is no such thing as, let's say, warp drives and shit like that, even though there are lots of theories that says it is theoretically possible, there's a high chance physically it's not going to be possible. So then it would imply that if there are aliens out there, they probably mastered hibernation or extended their lives at a point where years don't matter. So nearest star with our best engines, and that's our, right? If there are higher intelligence aliens out there which with way powerful engines, that would cut short a lot. But right now it's like what, 50-70,000 years it would take for us to go to the nearest star, and that's the nearest star, right? 4 light years away or something. So if they have really good engines, let's say 1,000 years and not even nearest star, a star a bit far, you know, like not 10 years, 30 light years, maybe 50 light years, 100 light years, whatever. And they have so powerful engines they can get here in 1,000 years, but it's still 1,000 years, right? And if they have seen us before they left, it would be 1,000 years before, like it would be like Normans or something, right? Seeing the heights of Arabic empires in 1000 or something. They wouldn't know what level of advance we are right now. Only way to know that we are advanced right now would be to, I guess, capture our radio waves, and I guess they're like 20 or so light years across, if I remember correctly, or something like that, which is not that far, right? So this is a really good concept, and this could probably happen, and maybe aliens won't arrive here for like few centuries, but the point is they could still be in transit right now. They would be in the way. So, you know, thinking that and looking outside makes you, feel a bit creeped out, right? So I don't know which direction Kurzgesagt is going to take this, but it's going to be fun. That's what it. If you already realize, I'm a big space guy, so whenever topics like this are out, yeah, this is the best day ever. Let's watch it.
It's our first limited drop featuring our cosmic pioneer burbs and their space adventures, only for a limited time on the Kurzgesagt shop. The universe is magnificent and vast. Hundreds of billions of galaxies, trillions of stars, and even more planets. If even the tiniest fraction are habitable, then the universe should be teeming with life.
Yeah.
And yet we see nothing,
odds are higher.
Only vast emptiness. Where is everyone else?
Odds are much higher that there is life out there than not be, because if there is no life out there besides Earth, we are the odd ones out, which it's scientifically, that's a questionable thing. Like, why is this the case? Scientifically, it would make more sense if there were more life out there, right? If there is something oddity, that's where science starts to scratch its head, like, why did this happen? So there's a high chance there's going to be life there. Now, what level of chance is there? Which part of that intelligence or not? Who knows?
The answer to this riddle could be as exciting as it is creepy. We are early, born before almost all other life. But very soon, this may change. Not only might aliens appear, they could quickly surround us. An irreversible competition for the universe might be about to begin.
Why the big eye, man?
While this video is based on scientific papers, we're presenting interesting ideas based on little data and lots of extrapolation, so take them with a grain of salt. Okay, we need to look at 3 essential questions to understand the galactic competition. 1. How fast can bacteria build spaceships? To become a starfaring civilization, life as we know it needs to master a number of very hard steps. It starts with dead stuff turning into the building blocks of life. Then it needs to organize into self-contained cells. Those cells have to learn to work together to form multicellular organisms.
Yeah, see, what our Earth tells us that life formed as soon as it could have. As soon as the conditions were right for the life to flourish, it did. It didn't wait around or anything, right? Before life was a thing, the condition of Earth was really bad. No way our organic life can be sustained. But as soon as the condition became right, evidence says that life flourished immediately. It didn't wait around. So that tells us the life wants to, emerge, right? It's not some oddity out there. As soon as the condition is right, life would emerge.
This keeps going until complex creatures with big brains learn to use tools and language. Civilization has to be formed from cultures that value progress and technological development. And then they need to actually venture out beyond their home planet. On Earth, life appeared basically as soon as the oceans formed. But then it took 2 billion years to make the step from single cells to multicellular organisms, and 2 billion more for us to appear.
Yeah, this is
Culture,
the complicated part.
civilization, and space travel developed super quickly though.
Yeah.
Do things always take that long, or was this actually exceptionally fast?
I mean, pyramids were 4,000 years ago. 4 or something thousand years ago. Pyramids. And look at where we are right now. You think like 4,000, but compared to millions and billions of years, it's nothing.
Also, passing one step does not mean the next one is guaranteed. Multicellularity evolved over 25 times independently on Earth, but there's only one species that builds spaceships.
Yeah.
We don't know how many steps life needs to pass and how long they take to give rise to a technological civilization, but there are probably many, and it's likely that on trillions of planets, life has been trying for billions of years. Since we don't see any other technological civilizations out there, it might well be that we are a rare exception. We might be among the first, or even the first technological civilization in the Milky Way. But this is
is it just me that even that feels creepy, right? Like, if there is another intelligence out there which is higher intelligence than us, it's creepy. Because all the movies and Hollywood and shit, our own behavior tells us that we are screwed if they come here. But if we are the only one, even that is creepy, right? Imagine if you were the last person left on Earth, how would you feel? Like, there's some creepiness to it, like this certain level of pressure on you, right? That's the same thing with this. If humans are the only one in the whole world, basically, that's an immense pressure and also creepy in its own way.
Just one piece of the puzzle. On top of that, we may have just hit the perfect time window. Why does humanity exist now? The universe is already 13.8 billion years old, but it's unlikely that many other technological civilizations had a chance to appear before us. Because in the earlier universe, life would have had a pretty hard time to emerge, let alone thrive, because it was such a hostile environment. Early stars constantly blew up, galaxies crashed into each other, and supermassive black holes vomited massive amounts of radiation. Enough to sterilize galaxies over and over again. Our sun was born right at the end of this cosmic...
Yeah, I'm surprised how stable we are in a way. There is no supernova close to us right now for a long time that could threaten us. There is no black hole that could threaten us. Many things that could threaten us is not there for a long time at least, right? For hundreds of thousands of years, I guess, we're going to be fine with this kind of... After that, maybe. But right now, so that's a very stable environment. But then again, we're talking about billions and million years of process of few 100,000 years. It shouldn't be that surprising. And, earlier universe, like it's a Big Bang, 0 years to, cosmic death show, whatever this, right? Birth of the sun. They were really hot, universe was really hot. So yes, life would have had a hard time. But we took billions of years just to evolve from single cell to whatever we are right now. If there was any, difference, like even say 1 million years of difference, where some other life evolved much faster than us, they would have 1 million years head start. And imagine 1 million years head start with science. They would definitely be much advanced that we think of. All the Hollywood alien shit we think of. So they don't need that much of a head start to be big, because the scales are already high.
Death show. The universe has never been more welcoming to life than it is now. So humanity has arrived at a very convenient spot in time. may be the earliest reasonably possible for life
TikTok.
to thrive.
Aliens like, what the
What
fuck?
about the future? The sun burns brighter than 90% of the stars in our galaxy and will keep getting brighter. In about 1 billion years, it will boil all of Earth's oceans and then become a giant that swallows it whole. So in the galactic context, the sun is very short-lived. Most stars are red dwarfs that can sustain habitable planets for tens of trillions of years.
Yeah.
Life on these planets has an incredibly long time window to appear, and
Universe is only like 13 billion years old, and seeing how much things can live, stars basically can, certain stars can live trillions of years. Black holes will live for Google years, right? Universe death, there is many extinction event for universe, even they are like Google years long or something. This scales makes you think like even the universe is like right now is like in baby stages, right? Like 13 billion, that's nothing compared to the trillions and even all the way to Google years.
to pass the hard steps. Even knowing nothing about how rare or common life is, this makes it way more likely for technological civilizations to appear sometime in the future than in the past. Because if civilizations appear at random in the Milky Way within a time window of 1 trillion years, then very few, if any, would appear before today. Then a couple more arrive in this period of 1 billion years that we're in, before all star-faring civilizations that could ever exist emerge altogether. This weird tsunami-like distribution is the result of both the hard steps model and something else. A sort of deadline for any spacefaring civilization. Any civilization coming after will find it hard to have room to survive, so all potential life has to cram in before it. Humanity exists now because otherwise we might have missed this deadline. What or who creates this deadline? Why aren't aliens already on Earth? Humans are curious, expansionist, and hungry for energy. We've spread over the world and made it our own. Our technology has been improved.
Those deadlines, we are assuming a lot when we think of those deadlines. But then again, this is all just a thought experiment, right? So you have to, you have to create this kind of a deadlines based on what you can perceive. So not necessarily that they are this is definitely it, right? But this is like, that like Fermi paradox also. Fermi paradox also gets, at play here. So in a way, it kind of makes sense. But I don't know. I think, there are definitely aliens out there that are on the way right now. Maybe warp is not a real thing, right? And it would take thousands of years just to get here. That thought is just creepy enough to, make sure that I don't sleep.
Moving over time, first slowly, then breathtakingly fast. If these things don't change drastically and our descendants want to prosper, they will expand into space. We could construct a Dyson swarm for endless energy and transform planets into new homes. We could cross interstellar distances, allowing us to reach for planets around distant stars. If we have the motivation, we can become a galactic civilization. A civilization that does this sort of stuff can be called...
Yeah, see, with the global warming thing, we are assuming that, every alien would behave just like us. Maybe there are aliens out there. First of all, we perfected electronic means of things rather than oil means of things before, right? But oil just became much easier accessible, and just like capitalism mentality, if it's cheaper, it's better, it's good for business. That's how we went. And people didn't care about what science was saying. They all only cared about the profit that they were making. That's how we humans are. Maybe there are aliens out there who don't value the word freedom that much, who imposes a lot of things, who listens to their scientists basically. If they see a trend of global warming, they will clamp down, maybe clamp down on the birth rate as well. So make sure there are not that many aliens to begin with. They would use a lot of resources and maybe control global warming in the first place. I mean, yeah.
Loud, because its activity creates noise. Signs that can be detected from far away. Imagine someone in a forest, cutting down trees, starting fires, and laying down roads. The more intense their work, the easier they are to notice. An expanding technological civilization would probably be hard to miss. Our telescopes would pick up all that energy, and we would clearly identify artificial interference with stars and planets. Another consequence of this business is that it's very disruptive to the environment. Clearing a forest means the end of its wildlife. Human activity has left no chance for a squirrel civilization to appear. Not because we hated squirrels, it's simply that the thought that they might want to do that at some point never crossed our minds, and we needed wood.
Yeah, we needed that furniture.
If loud civilizations were running around the galaxy in the past, terraforming planets, or harvesting the energy of stars, they may have prevented our existence. Had aliens started colonizing Earth while we were still sludge in the oceans, that sludge would never have turned into humans. This is how loud aliens create a deadline for new civilizations appearing. The galaxy may have trillions of years to create life, but there may only be a short window for it to spread and thrive. Even if a loud civilization...
Yeah, again, like I said, we are assuming aliens are like us and basically disruptive like humans. But like I said, they could believe in moderation, they could believe in preservation, right? Harvesting energy, but not at a level that would destabilize a system, right? Using the resources on the planet, but only what you need, and making sure the population doesn't rise, even if that means authoritarianism type of thing. Freedom is not a concept or something, right? Life is a privilege, not a right or something. You could imagine things like that, what aliens believe, and what type of aliens could be there. So if we are to assume that aliens are just like humans, disruptive and sucking everything out, yeah, maybe then this makes sense.
Respects planets with naturally occurring life and expands around them like humans do with wildlife reserves, any civilization on such a planet would not be able to expand ever. Trapped forever on a tiny island. But here we are, so loud aliens were probably never here. What about aliens that don't expand?
Yeah.
They would be quiet aliens. They're probably limited to one star system and don't have a noticeable impact on their cosmic surroundings.
Yeah.
Humanity is like this right now. We wouldn't be able to detect ourselves from the other side of the Milky Way. If they stay quiet forever, maybe because of their culture or abilities, then they are not really a concern for us. We only have one sample to draw from, humanity, and right now we are on the path to becoming loud. If we're not special and succeed anyway, then any other civilization with the motivation and resources to would eventually expand beyond its planet of origin. Okay, what are the consequences of all these assumptions and ideas? Grave consequences. Race to the stars. If we are really early, then eventually others will catch up with us. Civilizations will emerge all over the place. And these new aliens will look at space.
Yeah, we'll watch Netflix and TikTok a lot, and everybody else would advance their science and we will not, basically.
See no signs of life and come to the same conclusion. They exist because loud civilizations have not yet taken over everything, but it only takes one loud civilization to crowd them out of the entire galaxy. They, like us, will face an important decision. Do they stay quiet, take it easy, and tend to their planet for as long as possible, or do they start expanding to take a chunk of the galaxy before someone else arrives? Meeting others does not necessarily mean war or conflict, but it means that new borders will arise.
Yeah, but besides human, if you see every wildlife that we have on Earth, they are quite violent in this way, right? Life doesn't mean that much in a way, right? I mean, it's like their system based around a lot of violence, basically, right? Even the animals just throw their kids away because that's just like easier to save themselves, right? Consuming their own kids or something. Animals do that as well just to survive. So wildlife on our planet alone is very violent in that way. So if that's the trend, let's just say this is basically how intelligence rise up, then aliens maybe are like that and just would see see violence towards us as like nothing that big of a deal. I mean, that's a fucked up thought, right? If we were to take evidence from our own planet, it doesn't say that good. Like if alien visits us, and if they don't think of morality like us, we are fucked.
Limits that may persist forever. In the worst case, a civilization could be completely enveloped by the empires of others eternally doomed to be a galactic backwater without control over their fate. So if we want a seat at the galactic adults' table, we best get to work. If we really are early, we have an incredible opportunity to mold thousands or even millions of planets according to our vision and dreams. And one day when we meet others, we can greet them and meet them as equals. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, cue Mass Effect.
What's this? We've finally received a signal from the Cosmic Pioneers crew that we lost contact with 10 years ago. Through a special imaging technique called illustration, we're able to reveal what happened.
Yeah, people, go to original video page, link from the description, and support this channel. Seriously, man, this is a really good topic, but we are taking a lot of assumptions while think about things. Yeah, to me, just thought that, you know, aliens are on the way. It's just, yeah, just frightening enough to be like, okay. It's just creepy when you constantly think about that. Like, keep that in the back of your head every time. There are aliens out there. There are aliens out there. It just creeps you out. Yeah. And like I said, same thought, like there are nobody out there besides us. Even that creeps you out. Like that, there's a deep aloneness feeling. Like, holy shit, the entire galaxy. Who knows how big the galaxy, you know, entire world is. Right now we can see nothing beyond 13 billion, but imagine the diameter of an actual, you know, entire universe. And we are alone. That thought alone is frightening. But yeah. Right, well, that was why aliens might already be on their way to us by channel Kurzgesagt in a nutshell. If you like my reaction, don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you next time.